Incremental greetings. So it's been about a month that I started doing YouTube Shorts. And this made something very obvious, something I perceived for many years, that incremental reading or SuperMemo, it's very male dominant. I don't like the expression. In English, you can say male and female for humans, for people. I will just use man and woman instead. So the question is why? So okay, those are the stats of my YouTube channel, which I can some sort of extrapolate that this will be more or less similar to the user base, because people who will use SuperMemo, it's likely they will watch in YouTube videos about SuperMemo. So even if I don't have the stats of who downloads or uses SuperMemo or in the Discord community, based on my experience, most of the people in the community are men. Most of my tutorees, I had more than 300 tutorees, and even I didn't track the gender. Just based on memory, I think maximum it will be 15 women. The rest were men. So overwhelmingly are men. Why? So those are the stats of my channel. I don't know why in the desktop it's limited, so I did some screenshots in my phone. And look at that. This is from last month. So if I split just the videos, what you see in the right side are the long format videos, like the one you're watching now. And look at that. It's all male, all men, or almost, because what happens that some videos, the view count it's too low, and this metric is not being counted. So if there are some 2 or 3 women in one single video, that will not be counted. So that's a limitation. But look at the shorts. It is an all-time high for me, 28% of women. The difference is that usually shorts, so about 80% of my short views from shorts come from the short feed. So it's people who haven't decided to click in my video. I will watch this video based on the title, the thumbnail, or because it's this creator, I will watch it. No, they just swipe and oh, it's the next video, and they decide to watch at least some seconds, so it counts as a view before they swipe away. So that's a meaningful difference. And that's precisely what I'm making this video now, because man, this is, no pun intended, bro, this is corroborating the observation I have done across years, that why women are not interested in SuperMemo or in incremental reading. Why it's so skewed? Here's more data. That's the same, but lifetime. So all videos, so now according to the aggregation of all of the stats, female or women are in 7.4% of all my views. Massive. It has always been point something percent. Which this is what happens. If I only filter videos, the long format videos, women only represents 1% of my views. At the time of the recording, I have 60,000 views. So that means that only 6,000 views were traced as women. Which, by the way, is an all-time record as well. It was in the 0.7, 0.9 when I checked. I don't check these every day, every few months, I don't know. But it has never been in 1%. It was always point something. So how you interpret this, that women have 7%? Yes, it's 7%, but most of this 7% is because of shorts, that they have almost 30%. So you have to read this in perspective. But the question remains the same. Why? So I don't care in the sense that I would not change how I do the videos according to demographics. So I will suit more this demographic than this other. But it's because this already is hinting people who are interested in SuperMemo or in incremental reading, because most of my content is about this. So yes, there will be some section of the user base who will never watch the video. and this is being discarded. So there's a selection bias. But even though it's massive, 99 and 1%. Why? So why? So I did one video that incremental reading is not for everyone. Is it for you? Link in the corner. That, okay, I already know that some personality traits are overrepresented, and also the STEM, the domains. So that means which go hand in hand, because people who are into mathematics, physics, computer science are more likely to be long-term oriented and all of that, because you don't learn how to code in an overnight. You need to tolerate trial and error, all of that. So it makes sense that those domains are heavily represented in the user base. What happens that those domains are already skewed, that are more men on those domains, but not at this degree. And what is interesting is that, wait, you can use SuperMemo for any domain. Incremental reading, everything that is not procedural, that is declarative knowledge, is incremental friendly. So you could use anything about sociology, humanities in SuperMemo, perfectly fine. But why almost no one is doing this? Let me rephrase it. The idea about this comment is that humanities, at least in the countries I'm familiar with, it's the opposite. It's skewed to women. There are a lot more women than men in those domains. So if though these people use SuperMemo or incremental reading a lot, it will happen that just based on the selection bias that you have of the domain, it goes to the women side. But that's not the case. So I'm already assuming that in humanities, almost no one is using SuperMemo. I don't know. I don't have the answer. This video is just to share this information because this is not public. It's only available in my channel. And the question is for you, especially if you're watching this and you are a woman and we haven't met in the Discord community or in the tutoring. Please let me know why you think that happens. And if you use SuperMemo and you're a woman, also why? In the sense that, I don't know, do you feel identified with this metric? It's like saying, for instance, the only thing I could relate is left-handers, right-handers, and left-handers. That, oh yeah, based on the demographics, genetics, and so on, the left-handers are just one tiny bit of the population. And happen to be that I'm left-handed, with hand, eye, the leg, everything. I always prefer the left side. And this is rare. It's okay, then I feel identified as a lefty, and I know that it's very rare. Okay, but we could say that it's very genetic dependent. But that's not the case. I think, I don't know. It's I'm assuming this. So let me know what you think, your thoughts, especially if you're a woman. Nothing more to add today, and see you incrementally.